And all eyes are on the Gulf of Mexico tonight. Idalia continues to strengthen as it barrels toward Florida and eventually the Georgia coast. Idalia hit Cuba this afternoon, lashing the island with heavy rains and winds of up to 70 miles an hour. And now Idalia has its sights on Florida's west coast, where the storm surge could be catastrophic. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Christine Spiro. From Florida's west coast to southeast Georgia, thousands of Americans are under evacuation orders as Idalia gains strength in the Gulf. We have team coverage for you tonight. Fox 5's Christopher King is taking a look at the efforts already being made by emergency crews, and Tyler Fingert is monitoring conditions on the coast.
But we begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist David Chanley, who has new information on Idalia's track tonight. David?
All right, Russ and Christine, here we go. The latest information from the National Hurricane Center. Cat 2 storm, 110-mile-an-hour sustained winds on the cusp, becoming a major hurricane. Still moving off to the north at 18. Center of circulation some 240 miles southwest of Tallahassee. Here is the deal. Over the next several hours, it should gain strength, and it barrels down towards Florida's Big Bend area. No change in any of that, and no surprises so far. The track remaining just about on course is what we've been looking at as a Cat 1 hurricane in South Georgia by, say, late tomorrow morning into tomorrow evening across southeast Georgia, and then into the Carolinas through the day on Thursday. The big story is going to be not only wind, but the torrential rainfall. This thing is going to bring flooding conditions from the Florida Panhandle all the way up through the heart of South Georgia into middle Georgia, southeast Georgia. Some areas could see a foot of rain between now and Wednesday evening over the next 24 hours. So flooding certainly an issue down here in South Georgia, not so much in our region. But we're having our own problems up here across North Georgia right now. Take a look at Fox 5 Live Viper. Tropical downpours in and around the city. Tremendous amount of flooding going on now at 285, not only in DeKalb County, back in Fulton County, Cobb County. Heavier rain down towards Douglasville. Now heavy rain up here across some of the northern suburbs. A lot of spots in this area and under a flash flood warning have seen anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain, and additional rainfall is likely across that area tonight. Take a look at a Fox 5 Live Viper estimates here. 2 to 2.5 to nearly 4 inches of rain. Just the outskirts of Lawrenceville there in Gwinnett County. So the rain machine continues, and we're going to get more tropical downpours through the day tomorrow. We're going to have more information on Idalia and what it means for our weather into the Labor Day weekend. That's coming your way in a few minutes.
All right, we'll be checking back all night. David, thanks very much. As David mentioned, the storm will impact the Georgia coast once it crosses Florida, and residents and business owners spent the day doing what they could to prepare for the storm.
Our team coverage continues tonight in Savannah with our Tyler Fingert. And Tyler, this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, Christine, it really is, but we don't expect that to last. In just a matter of hours, we're going to start feeling the effects of the tropical system. And before that can happen, folks here on the Georgia coast did make some preps just to be ready. The Savannah River Walk is a popular place for tourists, but Tuesday night, not so much, as the area is set to soon be impacted by Idalia. Visitors are taking the storm in stride, like one woman in town from New Orleans.
We decided, let's go to Savannah. They're getting a hurricane, so, we don't want to miss out.
Idalia is expected to make landfall as a dangerous Category 3 hurricane in Florida Wednesday morning. The system will weaken as it moves inland. One of the first places to feel it in Georgia will be Valdosta. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jonathan Stacy is there.
Here in the inland community of Valdosta, the concern is more about the wind than the water. In fact, forecasts are calling for wind gusts to top 100 miles per hour. With that, the local college has closed its doors for tomorrow, along with restaurants around the area. This restaurant in downtown says, sorry, we're closed due to the weather conditions, open Thursday.
With the storm on its way, those who own homes on Tybee Island are taking no chances as they fill sandbags to protect from flooding. Emergency officials say the storm's arrival will coincide with a king tide, meaning high tide Wednesday night will be around 10 feet.
Anytime that you have potential for the winds and the rains and the storm surge, you're always worried about flooding.
Savannah schools are canceled tomorrow, and a curfew is set to go into place here tomorrow night. We're live in Savannah. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
All right, I know they are bracing for impact there. Thanks so much, Tyler. With evacuations orders issued for much of West Florida and even some parts of Southeast Georgia, Atlanta Motor Speedway will open its facilities to evacuees. Starting today, AMS will offer free camping spots. The campgrounds are accessible for RV motorhomes, travel trailers, and Super C-Class campers. AMS will also have a number of limited sites with water, power, and sewer sites. Meanwhile, emergency crews here in Atlanta are gearing up to help out after Idalia hits. Georgia Power sending out units to the southern and southeastern parts of the state to restore service if and when it goes out.
And the Red Cross already has teams on the road as well. Fox 5's Christopher King is at Georgia Power in Atlanta with a look at the operations tonight. Christopher?
Yeah, Russ and Christine, Georgia Power already has crews inside its headquarters. They're keeping a close watch on Idalia, where it may hit and what areas may need them the most. Georgia Power teams staffing the storm center. They're keeping an eye on where Idalia will slam into our state.
For mobilizing resources around the state.
Spokesman John Kraft says the utility posted up crews in Macon, and they're calling in mutual assistance from Mississippi and Alabama to fan out when the storm hits and power goes out.
We have our own Georgia Power crews and others from within the state that will be headed down south.
Idalia could hammer southern Georgia, possibly toppling trees, tearing down lines, likely knocking out power to customers.
Have our line crews that do the work to put the lines back up, new poles, replace broken poles and other equipment.
The Valdosta, the Savannah areas, that is where our focus is right now.
The Red Cross spreading out as well.
We have more than 100 people here in Georgia who are paying attention and are ready to respond.
Evan Peterson says the Red Cross dispatched teams Monday night and Tuesday morning to help out if the storm forces Georgians out of their homes.
Temporary shelters for people to ride out the storm. We're prepared to provide counseling and then obviously a safe place to be.
The Red Cross and Georgia Power urging people to take precautions before it's too late.
Keep an eye on the sky, keep an eye on the forecast, but also to make an evacuation kit, to make a plan in case you need to evacuate, and then also to have a plan to stay informed.
And both groups urge people in the storm's path to keep an eye and to listen to local advice. And if you know someone in the southern Georgia area who needs help, call 1-800-RED Cross. We also have a link to their website and info on how to download their free emergency app. That's at fox5atlanta.com. Live at Georgia Power headquarters, Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
All right, now is the time to prepare. Christopher, stay safe. Thank you. Still ahead on Fox 5 News at 10 tonight, we'll take you live to Florida's west coast as Idalia's outer bands continue to lash coastal communities. We'll have a closer look at the preparations there as they're getting ready ahead of what could be a catastrophic storm.